We'll get started here. All right, welcome everyone to the Tuesday, August 19th City Council meeting. We are streaming the meeting live on the City of Madison YouTube channel and archiving it there. We have a pretty full agenda tonight. Let's start with Lord's Prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand if you'd like to join us in Lord's Prayer.
Lord in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk, may we have a roll call, please?
Certainly. Patrick Tevenow?
Here.
Carla Krebs?
Here.
Lucy DiTillo?
Here.
Josh Schaefer?
Here.
Joel Storm?
Here.
Jim Bartlett?
Here.
And Josh Wilbur seems to be absent.
Council, have you had a chance to review the minutes from the August 5th meeting? If so, we'll entertain a motion to approve minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Before we get started, I want to introduce our new friend Alex, who is here tonight from Italy. Welcome, Alex. He's the son of Mike and Linda Pittman's niece, Elena Sue is also here. Welcome. And Alex is working on his Citizenship and Community Merit Badge. So this is a perfect place for a young scout to see his government in action. So welcome, Alex. And moving on, we do not have any presentation petition, so we'll go to first ordinance. Turn it over to Joe.
The first ordinance is an appropriation ordinance, and it's number 2025-14. It's an additional appropriation ordinance, and do we have somebody that wants to speak on this?
We have it's sponsored, I believe, by Josh Wilbur, and I'll let our clerk treasurer explain it.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so what you have in front of you, these are some things we discussed at the budget workshop as well. We have to go through the process through DLGF, which is a state agency, to be able to move money from certain accounts to within one fund to another fund. The first one that you have in front of you is an $18,000 moving money from nuisance abatement fund. That money is actually coming from a surplus that has been carried over for several years in order to drop it in what we call the appropriation lines. Common English would be if you want to take money from your savings account, put it into your checking to spend it, we have to go through a public hearing process, pass an ordinance, then process that paperwork with DLGF so that they have some eyesight on where'd you get that money from. So that's the first one, $18,000 that's sitting in the fund, but we have to drop it into the appropriation line. Again, it's similar to you would have with your checking account. The second one is first one is additional money, what they are using that for. They've increased quite a few of their fines and fees for vacant and abandoned and some things that they're working on there. So Dewey's going to present on that just later this afternoon or later this evening. So it's a good thing. It's a success story that they have gotten more violations, keeping the city a little cleaner. So the second one is aviation NRO. So we're doing something similar to that. And Brent is here. I see Brent is here. So he may want to come up and talk to you just a little bit about this. But aviation has done quite a few upgrades to their facility. And during those upgrades, they're looking to move some of the money from the Rotary Fund fuel sales into the aviation NRO miscellaneous fund to help keep that stifled up so that we can get the checking account for that.
Thank you, Shirley. So if we can, since we do have to have a public hearing associated with this, if we could recess the regular council meeting to allow for that public hearing, we'll do so now. And so if there's anybody from the public that wants to come and talk about this additional appropriation ordinance, now is the time to do so. Okay. Seeing and hearing none, so the public hearing is closed. And we will come back to the meeting now and hear the, I guess, do you want to vote?
Yeah, I was just going to say on this too is that I believe these appropriations are projected to carry through the balance of the year.
Yes.
So we talked
Yes,
last
that's
year and
correct.
prior years about our year-end processes, but being more mindful to do those sooner and project our balances through the end of the year. So this should, again, this is the projection through the balance of the year for the airport and for planning, preservation, and design.
Okay, and so this should move on to second reading at the next meeting?
Quick question. The abatement money that's being requested, the Fund 2501-503 that it's coming from, what was that fund?
That's the revenue account. It's the first four digits are the actual fund numbers, so it's the same fund. But what we're doing is taking the money from
Okay.
the fund.
So
It's a little complicated. At the end of the year, if there's money left over, it stays in the fund. In order to drop it into the, like I said, the checking account, the appropriation line, we have to go through the process and tell DLGF where we got it from. So this is money that's been held over
And it's
22, 23, 24.
the revenue generated from the nuisance
previous years.
cases?
Yes, previous years. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the council?
Would council-
No question, but I would like to move to suspend the rules and go ahead and push this to a second reading so we could vote, so that money could go ahead and be moved.
Okay, sounds like a motion to
I will
suspend the
second
rules.
that motion.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Hearing none, we have a second reading now of the additional appropriation ordinance 2025-14. And are there any comments, questions? Okay. Seeing and hearing none, if we could have a roll call vote.
Patrick Tevenot,
Yes.
Carla Krebs,
Yes?
Lucy DiTillo,
Yes.
Josh Schaefer,
Yes.
Joel Storm,
Yes.
Jim Bartlett,
Yes.
and Josh Wilbur is absent.
Thank you, council. Thank you, clerk treasurer. Council, are there any reports, recommendations, or other business from standing or select committees of the council? Hearing none, we do have some guests here tonight, so I'd like to invite Dewey O'Neill to give us an update on code enforcement. This was a presentation that we made to Board of Public Works and Safety
Yeah, we
a
did.
couple of weeks ago. And I think we had indicated when we went through the vacant and abandoned structures ordinance that we would do similar updates for council. Council will also email this to all of you all after tomorrow when we get to it. It's a big file, but we may share it on a shared drive with you. Welcome, Dewey.
Thank you so much. Nice to see you all again. Yes, it is a big file, a lot of pictures, not a lot of comments. I'll be thorough, but we'll do this fairly quickly. I know you have a lot going on tonight. Thank you for your first order business. We'll keep working. So, all right, Mindy. This is year by year. So I started in January of 2022, and this represents by violation, not by case, but by violation, the number of violations that I have written during those years. And you can see year to date, we are probably on track to surpass the first year being eager, I suspect, or something, but a lot of things in line. Grass and weeds, always an issue this time of year. I've seen an uptick in unclean, disorderly. I think it's just the way I look at things. There's a little ambiguity there, but instead of neglected or trash, junk, fire hazard, a little bit of an uptick in unclean, disorderly premises. Okay, Mindy? these are just some of the things I'm addressing. I should probably, sometimes I think I should have one of those disclaimers like, are you sure, or something like that. But these are some of the things that I've looked at just this year. Number of tires, that's just one person's backyard. Mindy? Same backyard.
Is that downtown or on the hilltop?
That would be on the hilltop in the, is it on, it starts with a P. What's the street address? Or Van Buren. So up near the park, in that area. Okay, Mindy? Of course, grass and weeds, always something we address. Okay. Abandoned, disused vehicles continue to be, I can't imagine, I couldn't imagine all the abandoned, disused vehicles that we have in the city. Okay. Furniture that hasn't been properly gone through the process to get picked up. It's one heck of a party right there.
Oh my gosh.
That is downtown here, not far from us. Trash in carts. Another party, another can issue downtown here. More grass and weeds not far from here, actually. Okay, Mindy. All right, let's talk a little bit about unsafe, vacant, and abandoned structures. Initially, so again, from January, I've had 164 cases. 41 of those have been abated. With the new ordinance, the vacant and abandoned vacant and abandoned structures registry, we moved some of those from the unsafe universe to vacant and abandoned, and we're working through that process to verify yes or no, are they vacant and abandoned? And then there's currently 19 active unsafe cases.
The ones that were abated, just a quick question.
Yes, sir.
The ones that were abated, voluntarily abated, or were they abated by the city? Or a mixture, I guess?
So it's, both nuisance and unsafe are just about a 75-25 mix. It really hasn't and again, we're just into the third year, but it's really about a 75-25 split. Yeah. A few success stories, actually. This doesn't look like one, but this was an unsafe structure downtown here. And now that's what it looks like.
Wow.
So we're very proud of that. Another unsafe structure by our city garage.
Oh, nice.
Taken care of. Also downtown here by the, what's the church over there?
St. Michael's.
St. Michael's Church, sorry. Now we've got that. Still working on that just to clean it up, but also down in that direction, East Street, clean and orderly so far. Still working on that though. This still remains unsafe down on Elm Street. We'll get to that one. Also considered unsafe by our building inspector, that property there. So,
Second Street. Yeah.
as well as that one. Okay. Okay, so of the 96 that we moved from the unsafe list to the vacant and abandoned structures, 96 of those have been moved over. We've sent initial letters with staff determinations, and we're continuing to roll the rest of those out. So property owners will be notified as we do that. Okay. This is a property at Jefferson and 3rd Street on the east side. That is what it looked like. What date did I take that picture, Mindy? Does it say? Late 2000, actually that's January 2024. Okay, keep going. You wouldn't imagine that's what it looks like, but next picture should, that's what it looks like today. Very proud of, this is one of the vacant and abandoned that we had, and we're expecting, this is what the success can look like, is we're just looking for a plan from property owners to bring things up to a standard, and that is a clear victory for us right there. We call progress. Just some other ones on the vacant and abandoned list, or registry, I should say. Walnut Street. As always, I share the Moody Park situation. City Attorney Jenner may have some information, but we continue to work on that. That is the current timeline. Joe, any comments on this one?
I think we're going to, in the process, the court's ordered us to go to mediation, so we're going to try and see if we can't get something resolved. But, you know, I think what that kind of echoes is, and what we tried to accomplish with the vacant and abandoned ordinance and different things like that, is trying to build in some ability to have some enforcement and have some teeth, so that we don't have, so that the option isn't, okay, just send them a letter or we go to court. So try to have some teeth that we can do and do some things, because going to court takes forever. It is a process, and it's an extremely lengthy process that takes a long, long time, and oftentimes doesn't always result in what we want. And so hopefully this vacant and abandoned ordinance that you guys passed will provide some tools, and I think it already is providing some tools for our planning and zoning office to utilize, because again, filing things in court, the courts are packed with things. These aren't at the top of their list, frankly. And so it just takes time. And on the flip side, people's property rights are of one of the highest. It's, you know, children, you know, personal and your real estate are kind of somewhere in that order of what your rights are when it comes to. So it shouldn't be something easy when you're talking about dealing with somebody's property, and it's not. So I do think that the ordinance will be helpful.
Thank you. All right, 2025 mid-year success story, I believe. This is a property just off of 421 there. When I came upon this, I thought this was, and there's been worse since this, but I thought this was maybe one of the worst case scenarios I've seen. The creek is right behind here.
That's Walnut Street on the other side of 421.
Right, Walnut on the other side. You're right. Yes, Mayor. You know, I was worried from a stormwater standpoint that there was multiple things I was worried about, but you can see what was happening there. And the property owner worked with us, came up with a plan, and that's what it looks like today. So by working together with folks, we are making a difference, and I'm very, very proud of that. So going forward, we'll just keep marching, review statutes and ordinances, try and improve our fines and penalties, and then Clerk Treasurer and I and others are working with the Ordinance Violations Bureau to issue immediate citations for violations that I see, rather than, you know, I should say violations that are warranted, issue immediate fines, not waiting. The nuisance ordinance takes 20 days before a fine is actually issued. Oh, yes, please.
Yes, so doing his team with Nicole and the mayor, we've been trying to update the why would I be talking about this? Because the clerk treasurer is in charge of the Violations Bureau for some reason. So I am working with Dewey and the police department and trying to get a good feel for what neighboring communities are charging for violations and fines, and trying to go through that process and hopefully simplifying it a little bit more for Dewey so he can have a little more rapid success. So you'll see something hopefully by the end of the year. It's been a tedious process with everything else we're working on, but it's not slowed him down from getting things done. So it is coming your way.
Thank you. All right, questions for me at all?
I'm just going to say that those are some good results, and we expect some great outcomes because of improved engagement with the public and the property owners. The best outcome is a plan by the property owner that they're executing and they're doing the abatement. It's not a city enforcement action. So again, you've already seen some, I think, quick results on a few things, and we've also seen some property transfers as a result of being more diligent, and that creates opportunity for properties to be repositioned by the new owner and rehabilitated. That's our goal, is to preserve our historic properties, those on the hilltop, clean up our neighborhoods, revitalize every neighborhood, because everybody deserves to live next door and in a neighborhood that's clean, safe, and beautiful. Good progress, Dewey. Thank you for all your work.
Thanks, each of you. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thank you, Dewey. And moving on, we will invite Tony Steinhardt here for grant acceptance from the Bethany Legacy Foundation. Welcome, Tony.
Good evening, everyone. We have great news tonight. We have received a $500,000 grant from Bethany Legacy Foundation for Welch Park, which is known to many by that as the J.C. Park there under the bridge. After Mayor Welch passed, it was renamed in honor of his service to our community. Certainly, the J.C.'s took great stewardship of that park over the years, and we're happy to continue doing that. We are working on finalizing the plans for that park here over the next couple weeks, now that we know our funding strategy, and we'll hopefully go out to bid for that here later this fall, and by Labor Day next year have a park that everyone can enjoy and be merry in. So I do want to update the council and remind the council that in 2021 and 2022, the City of Madison Parks Department went through a Parks Master Plan, which we have been working on implementation of that. It was accepted by the Parks Commission on June of 2022. We have been working with the Parks Commission and park staff on programming for and modifications to that master plan as it relates to programming for Welch Park, and have developed a program that includes pickleball, which will allow us to host regional tournaments, design a park for older kids, those in their teenage years, with opportunities for soccer and volleyball, be multi-generational with uses for toddlers to adults with some exercise equipment. And I'm happy to report it'll be the first play-on certification for our parks in Madison. That defines the excellence in fitness, sliding, swimming, spinning, balancing, and climbing. Obviously, most of those things will be done at Welch Park in a way that will allow it to be a certified play-on park, a national certification. I'm happy to report that we've raised about 60% of that in private dollars and/or grants of the total project budget. And as I said, we should be ready to go here later this fall for starting construction.
For the record, if we could have a motion to accept the grant?
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
we need. The appropriate funds were set up. I think you set up the appropriate control accounts. Madam Clerk Treasurer, I'll look to you, but that was done a few months back as a way of accepting Bethany Legacy grants. So there is a fund that will be established.
I move that we accept the grant from Bethany Legacy.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I was so excited about the grant, I forgot about the slides, but apologize for that. But we can certainly just glance through those real quick, and I will do that since we did prepare them. I apologize. You can go ahead and go through. You'll notice that we have sort of reorganized the elements, but all the elements again remain from the Park Master Plan. There was about 45 parking spaces in the original Park Master Plan. This one has close to 60, including on-street parking. A playground, 2 shelter houses, a public restroom facility, which are not cheap. It blows people's mind when I tell them what public restrooms cost to build. They're very expensive. A volleyball, basketball, and a soccer, a very cool concept that came from the kids in the young adults soccer field for practice. Next slide. An example of the playground, currently some modifications to this, but again, a very active playground both for older as well as toddlers. Hopefully we'll take some pressure off of Hargan Matthews and give them a little bit of a different play and climbing experience. There's a little dragonflies, teeter-totter, and trying to incorporate some new play activities downtown. That's about it. I went through this earlier, so. If you go back to that, it'll show you the funding sources and where we are. We're at, like I said, about 56% private in grants to our city contribution, and that city contribution is coming through the redevelopment commission.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yep, should be great.
If you have a question, if you could come to the podium, we'll go ahead and answer your question now rather than wait to the end, Dan, if you want to. Is the space being expanded?
No, the footprint of the park stays the same. If you want to go back to that slide there on number
Site
2,
plan.
Mindy, the site plan there on number 2. Yeah, the park has not been expanded. The city-owned parcels are from there just to the east of the cotton mill to the western or the eastern edge there past the bridge. One of the things that'll be nice here is we're connecting the bridge to sidewalks on the north side, which will connect all the way down to St. Michael's now, as well as there'll be a speed table and a pedestrian crossing at the bridge to the south side so that you can access the south side. It'll be our second speed table in town. It'll be signed and best practices for that, which will, again, help slow some traffic down on Vaughn Drive and give a very safe pedestrian crossing so people can enjoy the river views from the south.
It's going to be beautiful.
A speed table? A speed table is a device that's put in the on roads that brings you up a few inches and then levels off so that the pedestrians and brings you back down. Very common speed reducing
Traffic control
traffic
device.
calming device.
Tony, I assume this will be sent, the presentation will be sent out after the meeting, right?
Yeah, we can do that.
Is anything that's currently down there going to be left, or is it all going to be new?
The main shelter house that's there will be renovated a little bit to
rebuilt.
enclose, there'll be a new shelter house for, the community foundation has paid for the pickleball. The playground equipment that's there still has a little bit of useful life, so we're going to hopefully reuse that here in another park as we move forward.
But move it somewhere else?
We'll move it somewhere else, yes, sir.
And the volleyball courts, we're relocating them, but that's still going to be
Yeah,
part
I mean,
of
the
the park.
same program that's there today pretty much will stay. We've got to tweak a few things, but yes, there'll be 2 volleyball courts, regulation size. There's interest, and there's interest in the park commission and interest in the public to have volleyball and volleyball leagues again. Those volleyball courts are in disrepair and haven't had much attention for a number of years, so.
Be a beautiful addition to the riverfront and a very long overdue revitalization of that park. And Johnny, while you're there,
Well, yes.
do you want to go ahead and talk about the riverfront liquor licenses, or
I'm
is
going to
Emily
let
coming up with that?
Emily handle that, if you don't mind.
Okay, I don't mind at all.
Bob, can I quickly get the clipboard for the public hearing passed back up this direction, if you wouldn't mind? Thank you, Emily. That worked out perfect.
Good evening, council. If you recall, I think about a month ago, I came before you to ask for some edits to the requirements for the cultural experience venue. And with that, we took off the seating capacity requirement and we added 2 more of those licenses. So we now have the ability to grant up to 5 out of the total 12. Right now, there are 3 outstanding, being Vintage Lanes, Red Bicycle Hall, and Ohio Theater. So the first application before you tonight is requesting to take up one of the 2 new ones that you guys approved. It is Holiday Inn Entertainment, doing business as Club 113, You should have their menu and their ACT application in your packet. All of that has been reviewed by the Economic and Redevelopment Department and the Mayor's Office, and we think they would be a unique addition to our Riverfront District downtown. I believe Todd Boone and Michael Fortunato are here tonight to give you a brief overview of what they're planning. If you have any questions for me before they come up. Yeah. You guys want to come up?
Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for your investment in Madison.
Thanks for having us, Emily. Thank you. I'm Todd Boone. This is Michael Fortunato. I think everybody knows Michael. They may not know me. We've got a pretty cool project we'd like to bring to the city. It's right around the corner. It's below 113 West Main, which is the old Blush Building. It used to be the French Tulip flower shop. So about 2 years ago, we took the flower shop out and slowly worked it into a private space that we've turned into a club. I've used it for some private events. Michael's been there to play several times. And I've had some corporate folks in, again, as a private event. That's gone great. It's really cool. Went to the state, actually it was January of last year, so this has been going for a while. It got lost at the state. It took us about 6 months to get it actually approved. So we had to go through some fire stuff. We started on that in January of this year. Most of that's been completed. We still have a fire door. We bought a vintage fire door from Wisconsin that was trucked down. Kevin Carlson has brought it back to life. It's an old 1900 store. It came out of a factory. If anybody's been into the space since it's been revitalized, the building was built in 1816. It's got solid wood beams in it. Just a really cool space. There's some pictures in what we had presented. Those are real pictures. That's not clip art. And it's really a unique experience. So the folks that have come in from out of town, an example where we feel like it'll be different. So I had about 30 people come in 4 different times. They stayed at Fairfield. They also stayed in some Airbnbs that we have. We went to dinners. We had meetings all week, which was great. And then as we, after dinner, if you do a corporate event, a lot of times the meetings really start to get going after dinner, and a few cocktails. So we had some jazz music down there, and it kept everybody together. So there are some places to do that in town. We don't feel like it's unique as this is. The Fairfield, as an example, as I travel in the corporate world, you bring in 30, 40 people into one spot, into a hotel, they're mostly going to go to bed. And they're not going to you fly people into town, it costs a lot of money. We feel like this keeps them there. So it has a bar, it has a stage, it has capacity for 49, and the goal is to do it very similar to what Red Bike is, and that is an event hall. It'll be ticketed, so it's not, a lot of people say you're speakeasy. It's not a speakeasy, it's an event hall. So it'll be ticketed. You can't walk from Shipley's or Central or Mad Paddle and just walk in, right? You have to have a ticket. What's unique about it is it is only 49 because of fire. Michael, any?
Greetings, Council. Greetings, Mr. Mayor. Great to see you this evening. Well, one thing that I think is really inspiring and advantageous about this space is that it's also an opportunity, because it's such a micro event space. It's a real opportunity to offer more adventurous kinds of musical offerings and cultural offerings, things that are highly curated, things that you might put at a larger venue and you may not get as much of a draw, but when you're filling 49 spaces, you really have an opportunity to have a place that elevates and expands the level of entertainment that's available in the local area. We just believe it's a really comfortable, really warm and inviting environment that adds to the entertainment capacity of the downtown, while also really sort of minimizing the footprint and the impact on the surrounding area.
One of the things that we're looking to do that's not officially tied to this, but it's unofficially, is around the corner on 2nd Street, There's an old music studio, if you guys remember that, so even today, we had folks in there doing some demolition. We're finding new things every time we tear something out. But up above is a large apartment, and we are using the studio and the apartment and the club, if we are able to do this with the license. And so if somebody comes into town, we can have a way to draw them, right? We have a place to put them without having to pay. We have a nice apartment. It's large. It'll hold 8 or 10 people. The studio is a place for them to record, and hopefully that brings more people into town. So any questions or any comments?
Am I understanding correctly, is the entrance going to be on the back side of the building?
The entrance is on the back, so it has been, we had an architect, Donnie Ball, drew it up, and it was presented to, there's the entrance right there in the back.
And you said it's just like event space, so someone would have to rent it to be able to go there.
I didn't really talk about that, but they could also rent it. So let's say somebody want to have a corporate event, you had a group that came into town, they wanted to rent it for the day, they could do that. If, just like the Red Bike, a wedding reception, a dinner, we will serve some specialty chef-prepared desserts that will be paired with wine and some liqueur. But again, it's the theme of the music, the high cocktails, high service, and it's kind of the opposite of Taylor Swift, right? So the goal is to be very intimate. When we've had musicians down there, everybody, they're just like, when are you going to get this open? So it's really cool.
So how would I be able to attend that, like as a public patron? Do I have to get a ticket from you? Like, I'm just a little confused on that.
The event, it would be just like if, Michael and I are going to we're the band and we're going to play, so we would post it, and then tickets would be bought, and then they would be received as they come in, just like we do at Red Bike.
Okay, thank you.
That's a fair question.
How many events each year do you anticipate hosting there?
So Holiday Inn, if you're familiar with that, that was an old movie, which was Bing Cosby and Fred Astaire. So they only did it on holidays, so it was 14. That's where the name came from. So Michael and I both travel corporately. I would see us trying to do a couple a month, and then we would also have, if somebody wanted to rent it, we feel like the corporate space, even the Fairfield, what they feel like is, they've got some cool space, but they also they want to do that 4 days in a row, right? So as Lucy was involved with, the 365, this is a very good add-on to that 365 story, so they could rent it more, is my point.
I was just going to say, again, thank you for the investment hanging on the wall in our conference room. I think about a year ago, you were here presenting us with that framed trademark certificate about Indiana's Music City. I don't know if you remember that occasion here. It was great. And part of our story about Madison being Indiana's Music City is continuing to invest and build out the infrastructure to be a community that is well known and branded for live music. And this is a cool venue that elevates what we have to offer in Madison today. And another one of those things that continues in our pursuit of branding Madison as Indiana's Music City. So I think and if you haven't been there, council, please do. We should arrange a tour or something, or some type of reception, but it is a very, very unique space to experience. Any other questions for Todd or Michael? And if it's okay with council, we can have the second presentation from Emily, and then approve the licenses as combined batch, if that's okay. Guys, thank you. Thank you. Stick around. Emily?
Our second application for the evening is Nikimura, the Japanese restaurant that opened up across the street a couple months ago. Right now, we have 3 restaurants that occupy the restaurant license. That's Red on Main, River Oak Chop House, and Rivertown Grill. So if they were approved tonight, then that would leave 3 restaurant licenses available for this program. Just like with Club 113, the Economic and Redevelopment Department has reviewed all of their materials along with the mayor's office, and I think we can all agree that that restaurant brings a very unique dining option to downtown, and something that we don't currently offer in our Riverfront district. So I believe the manager, Reno, is here tonight, and he is going to come up and say a couple words
Council. My name is Reno. I'm the manager of the Nikimura restaurant. Okay, so like Emily said, our vision to open the restaurant here in Madison is to bring to the city the authentic Japanese cuisine, and then like sushi, ramen, and hibachi. So far, for 2 months that we were running the restaurant, we got so many customers that were asking about the alcohol, liquor, and beer. So that's why we were applying for the liquor permit. So the plan was to make the authenticity even further by providing authentic Japanese liquor such as warm sake, Japanese beer like Kirin or other brand. So it will be max out the experience of customer who will come to visit our restaurant, so they can enjoy like a complete meal between the nice sushi and then combined with a nice warm sake. So yes, that was our vision.
Do you intend to only have Japanese alcohol, or do you intend to have other,
Alright, so
it is still TBD?
So for now, the owners still like try the best to provide the authenticity of a Japanese. So, but we don't know yet the plan for the future. But for now, we're gonna like max out the authenticity of a Japanese, because like I saw we got so many winery and brewer here, and like authentic to the Madison city. So we want to match that kind of vibes, to bring the authenticity to the historic city. Yeah, that was the plan. Thank you.
I will just say that I have dined there. It was a great experience and great service.
Thank you, sir.
And it is a unique dining experience in downtown, in addition to many other unique experiences. And I think that's what Madison is going for with our programs. And thank you and the owners for your investment in our city and downtown.
Thank you. Welcome.
That's all I have for you guys. I think if you guys want to do a joint motion to approve both of those?
I would move we approve the Riverfront liquor license applications for Club 113 and Nikimura Restaurant as presented.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
I think this is just another great example of how well this program's working out for Madison.
I agree.
Just a big plus.
Comments or questions? Lucy, I'm sorry, were you about to say something, Councilwoman? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you,
Carries.
Council.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we do have one bill on second reading tonight. I'll turn it back over to our counselor.
This is ordinance number 2025-13, and this is the food and beverage tax ordinance.
Sponsored by Councilman Bartlett.
Any questions or comments from the council? Anything from the public on this ordinance?
Invite Andrew Forster here and Trevor Crafton.
Good evening, Council. My name is Andrew Forrester. I'm Director of Tourism at Visit Madison. Happy to be here tonight. I'm here on behalf of the Board of Directors of Visit Madison to speak about the proposed food and beverage tax. As we see it, the proposed 1% food and beverage tax is a smart and sustainable solution to protect Madison's quality of life for both residents and visitors. Recent changes to local funding at the state level make it even more important than ever to invest in projects and amenities that keep our community vibrant and welcoming. By law, this tax would be dedicated to those types of projects in parks, tourism, and economic development, ensuring that every dollar strengthens the experiences that make Madison special, and visitors get to enjoy while they're here, but residents get to enjoy all year long. According to the latest Rockport Analytics study of tourism in Jefferson County, visitors spent $21.3 million on food and beverage in our city in 2023. That's up 48% from 2017, when that number was $14.4 million. So we're seeing a lot of spending on food and beverage by visitors, and that means this tax could generate approximately $213,000 annually from visitors alone. Those numbers are from 2023, so we know they are higher than that right now. These funds would be reinvested directly into our community without placing the burden solely on local taxpayers. And just like the innkeeper's tax increase from last year, we see an opportunity for those who visit and love Madison through our strong tourism economy to help support the resources that benefit all of us on a daily basis. So thank you for your consideration.
And thank you for sharing your perspective from tourism. And continuing on, Trevor, welcome tonight. And you're here representing Jefferson County Board of Tourism. And what are your remarks, sir?
Good evening, Council. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Trevor Crafton. I'm the president of the Jefferson County Board of Tourism. Our board is a cross-section of hoteliers, entrepreneurs, general managers, politicians, professors, small business owners, and real estate investors. So I feel like we have a pretty good cross-selection of a tourism board. I've been on the tourism board for 5 years, and we've definitely, like Andrew just said, we've seen an increase of those visitor experiences here in Jefferson County and specifically Madison, Indiana. I simply came here tonight just to represent the Jefferson County Board of Tourism, empathize with the decisions that you all have to make now and you'll have to make in the future, and let you know that Jefferson County Board of Tourism is in support of the food and beverage tax. We know how vitally important maintaining and improving our parks for tourism, economic development, and quality of life are for here in Madison, Indiana. Thank you for your time.
You know, I would just say thank you both for being here. And last year you went through a very similar process with the innkeeper's tax, and you know, all of these conversations that started well over a year ago was about how do we continue the momentum of our community and invest in it and deal with some chronic issues along the way, but also elevate the quality of life here in Madison. And you're here as an example of that. And then, you know, with Todd and Renee, if I pronounced his name correctly, also showing the power of investment in our community and elevating the quality of life, but it does take the investment. So we're looking forward to continuing to be partners with both VMI and as well as JCBT. You know, we're presenting this ordinance tonight because we think it's a critical pathway to sustainable investments in our community, which I'm very excited about.
Absolutely.
So any questions for either one of these gentlemen? Thank you both.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else from the public want to comment on this? Seeing and hearing none, we're going to have a roll call vote.
Patrick Taverneau,
No.
Carla Krebs,
Yes.
Lucy DiTillo,
Yes.
Josh Schaefer,
Yes.
Joel Storm,
Yes.
Jim Bartlett,
Yes.
Thank you, council. All right, moving on with the agenda. We will open it up for public comment. As you probably saw, and I know there's several people here interested in the riverfront zoning. That was not on our agenda tonight. This Plan Commission certification was just received by the city, and the action for the zoning will begin in September. So that is not on our agenda as an action item tonight. Councilwoman Krebs, I'll turn it over to you for public comments to lead us through that. Thank you.
Deanna Shelley.
Just want to, if you could, give us your statement, please. Be as brief as you can, and appreciate you being here, Deanna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Deanna Shelley, 120 Wall Street. I happened to run across a quote, and I like smart people that say good things, and it says, one person can make a difference, and every person should try. John F. Kennedy. So we have a lot of one peoples around that are trying. I wanted to bring to your, the public's attention, and of course I sent it to all of you, regarding the latest awards for our Crystal Beach project.
Darn, you beat me to the punch. I was going to mention that later, but isn't it fantastic?
Yes,
Tell us about
is.
it, Deanna.
Well, this is a Dream Design recipient. The work that was done for our Crystal Beach, and which was done so well. And so I just wanted to read about 3 sentences from it. It's a classic icon remains the jewel of the city. Thanks to a balance of tradition, honoring strategies, and newfangled features. So we got this project right. This pool, set in the historic part of a riverside town, shows the perfect combination of nostalgia and future-forward perspective. The upgraded pool had to still make sense with the brick buildings and more traditional architecture in the complex. A quote from Amrianne Johnson, who was the project manager, is just very reminiscent of water and summertime and the nice blue sky. You still have color. It's not that super sleek, modern look with all white or stainless steel, but it's not super poppy. It's a nice pop of color, but still relatively neutral. So the lady that nominated us is Rebecca Robledo or something, but a well-known person that follows pools across the country and picked us out. The point of this is to make sure we do the same with our next big project on the riverfront. So let's get our thinking caps on and make something that lands softly. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sandy Palmer.
Thank you for the opportunity. I pass.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I'm having trouble. Rames?
It's Rainy.
Rainey.
Wilson. Rainy Wilson.
Oh, okay. Would you like to talk?
Well, I
Please.
kind of have some questions. I don't need to talk. But I do have questions. On this, what Dewey did with people that have trash, kind of things have gotten out of hand, does the city still pick up? Can you still call the city? Oh,
You're on, you were on.
You were on.
Yeah, turn
Now
the
you're
mic.
not.
There we go.
does the
Oh,
city-
hit it again.
Now you're on.
Can you still call the city and them come and pick up things for you?
So, yeah, you can come to City Hall and purchase a sticker. I think it's $5 now. I just did this recently. And then and it has to be furniture related, like I can't put a grill out
Right.
there. But if it's furniture related and you put the sticker on and they'll write your address, and then she will call and say, Carla Krebs bought a sticker, she lives at blah, 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 and she has a piece of furniture to pick up. And yes,
Okay.
they will still do that.
Because we're all still, well, I think I'm still relatively young, but we have a lot of elderly that if they had, no transportation, couldn't get to City Hall, is there someone out that can help them? I know you're all busy,
Well,
but,
if you get with me offline, I think I can help you out a little bit.
well, I don't really know. I mean, I see things too,
Yeah.
that aren't appropriate. But, that was one of the questions I had. My other question is, and you may need to look at something else to answer this, could you tell me how much the development on the riverfront is going to cost total, in a total cost? Does anybody have that information? Not just the city, the total cost of the redevelopment of the river. And those are my 2 questions. Thank you.
I don't think we have a number, do we?
Talking about the whole river?
Do we?
Development on the apartments.
It's not been costed out, but it's a multi-million dollar, if you're talking about the riverfront apartments, it's a multi-million dollar investment.
Is it as much as what we're putting in behind, is going in behind Hobby Lobby?
Very similar. It's not the same type of housing. It's not targeting the same type of
Right.
resident,
I meant like
but cost-wise, it's a probably $15-20 million investment. And the one on the Hilltop was around the same, right around 20-21 million for the first phase.
Okay, Ed
And Randy, I just want to mention one
Sorry.
other thing relative to trash. If there is a resident out there who's disabled or elderly and can't get here, please call Gina. I can tell you, our staff works extremely hard to accommodate everybody, and they will help. And you can always call a council person too, and everybody's eager to help. Thank you, Randy.
Ed Stiegel.
My name's Ed Stiegel. I live at 2512 Green Hills Drive. I want to thank you guys for all the hard work that you're doing. I would like to ask, as we're looking at the riverfront and the development of the riverfront, I know that we're not talking about that tonight. But I do also recognize that you all are responsible about thinking about the community and working for the community. And I would ask the council for the districts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, if before September, if you guys would be kind enough to meet with each of your districts so that we can make certain that you've heard from your districts, not that your districts have written you, not that your districts have posted comments here or there, or whatever, but that with a decision that is so important for our community and the direction that it will go, whether you think that will be positive or negative, that you've actually created a moment where you've gone out to the community and have asked the community to come to speak to you at that point in time. Thank you very much.
Ed.
Next is Karen Skillman. Okay. And Trevor Crafton, I think he just signed up because he was speaking. From the other. Trevor, are you still here? Okay, that's it for my list.
All right, well, thank you all for being here tonight. Deanna stole a little bit of my thunder about Crystal Beach, but it's a beautiful pool, and I totally agree with you that all of our designs are important to our city. It honors our past, and it also recognizes its future. A little bit more about the Crystal Beach Aquatic Park of Indiana being named a Dream Designs recipient. She mentioned the author of the nomination, and her name is Rebecca Robledo, and she has received national awards for her journalism, and she is considered to have won the Pulitzer Prize of Trade Journalism. Councilman Hunsaker was the designer of our pool, and we spent a very, very long time working with them on what we wanted to do with that area. There was a lot of push to move the pool, close that area, close that pool, move it to the hilltop, and as you can see, that the Crystal Beach is iconic for our historic district. But Councilman Hunsaker nominated us, and I think this is the third or fourth big award. This is another national award called Dream Designs recipient, so we couldn't be more prouder of the continued recognition and use of the pool all summer long, all the way to Labor Day. And I do want to mention, too, that we will have speaking of a kind of an iconic moment in our history, we start the reconstruction of Main Street tomorrow. It's already started with regard to staging, some mobilization, some demolition work, but we will be having a groundbreaking tomorrow at the Broadway Fountain at 11 o'clock. So please join us for kicking off our Main Street. And I will tell you that we're very proud of the fact that it's no longer a state highway. Instead of it being a road that takes you somewhere else, Madison is the destination, and the investment of time that we've put into designing that corridor is about the continued pursuit of Destination Madison. We're going to be very proud of the outcome, but it is also kicking off three phases, 3 years, 25, 26, 27, for the western approach of that corridor. Clifty Drive project is winding down. Thanks everybody for their patience. I agree with you, Rainey, hallelujah. We're better off for it, but it was a little painful because it did extend over a couple of construction seasons. But we're not going to do that on Main Street. Our first phase of Main Street will be done hopefully in November before the asphalt plants close. And then lastly, I will mention at Board of Public Works yesterday, we heard from Brian Jackson, who's our superintendent of utilities, the closing out of our $13 million water project that we began about 5 years ago on the design, and then the construction started around 2023. It impacted substantially 5 neighborhoods, but it impacted also all of our distribution, some of our treatment and technology, and all of our storage. So it was a much needed enhancement that was probably about 20 or 30 years overdue, but that one is behind us, and we're looking forward to more investment in our utility infrastructure for the needs of our community. I'll pause there. I'll turn it over to council. Do you have anything to add? If not, our next meeting is Tuesday, September the 2nd. And there's lots to enjoy in Madison between now and then. If there's no comments by council, Jim,
Mr.
thank
Mayor,
you for
if I may,
Riverfest too, by the way, for all your hard work on Riverfest.
If I may, just a couple of brief comments. For anybody who has not had the opportunity to observe and watch the street department, the water department, and other departments, when they're getting out there doing a project here locally, boy, those guys are workers. They hit it hard, and I'll tell you what, I just couldn't be more proud of those folks and the work they put in. And then secondly, if I may put on my Riverfest hat for just a moment, want to thank publicly all of the folks who stepped up and did volunteer work for Riverfest. Frankly, all of our festivals that we have here in town, and we have a multitude, live and die by the efforts of those volunteers. They are absolutely priceless, and those folks, we can't thank them more. And that's all.
Yep. Well, what makes Madison cool is all the volunteers, the organizations, the Tourism Alliance, everybody who's involved, and just so much hard work for our quality of life. And I want to thank everybody for doing that too. Council, anything else to add? No, we'll have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thanks everybody for being here.
Guys, before you leave.
Oh, it has to be blue too, right? Has to be blue. And it's going crazy.
It's coming.
Let me run out there. Are you with the